Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, again to Brightmont train station with Meadows awake.
Hello.
So,
Welcome to Brightmont.
yep, we're back and we're ready to rock once more. We're about to grab the train to Blackcester, which is raring to go as we speak. We want to briefly mention that we're having some kind of weird issue with the hats. Um, I just told Metalzoic there that I thought, like, the entire last video, I thought he was just randomly changing hats to amuse me, and apparently he was doing no such thing. And I'm currently, was I wearing a pig or something?
To my view, you've got the facehugger one, which is a really weird one.
Yeah, which as we can see, I'm not wearing in the slightest. So that's a thing.
That's something to do with having the mod enabled on the client end and not on the server end. But I thought I'd fixed that a while ago, but oh
It's
well.
very bizarre. Anyway,
So
shall we, sir?
expect varied hats as we go
Yeah.
on.
And run!
So in the last video, we did a tour of Brightmont. I showed off all my favourite bits, and we're off
Mm-hmm.
to Jesus's Blackcester. Where
Yes,
you
and I
can show
shall
off.
attempt not to be too self-depreciating. We'll see how that turns out for me. Bye,
Uh,
Brightmont. This is
Bye, Brightmont.
like I always liked the run up
Bye.
to Brightmont. It's actually always really cool. Like you just see the industrial sector and Brightmont itself.
Yeah,
It's pretty awesome.
this was the much longer train line than from Wolf's Lighthouse to
Yeah, yeah,
Brightmont. The
absolutely. I
Brightmont to
did.
Blackcester's
Yeah,
much
like
longer.
I knew what I wanted. I knew I was going to build Blackcester. I knew I needed a big, flat, open space. I also knew I kind of wanted mountains nearby and things like that.
Yeah,
So I just went wandering. I ended up like 1,000 blocks away from you guys. Um, but yeah, I think I quite liked the area I found. Like I've expanded to fill up the entire plane I started in, which was the plan. So that, if nothing else, I'm quite proud of.
yeah, good.
Pardon me a sec. And the back.
I quite like the ride out to Blackcester. It's a
Scenic.
long train journey, and there's a lot to look at. With these lovely plains with lots of animals and mobs that would kill us if we hadn't constructed this railway line in a very specific way.
Well, the railway does kill things when you hit them.
Yeah, yeah, it does. That's funny.
Um,
Coming up in a little village here. That was
yeah,
like a
well,
happy
this is
village.
where I started my last video about Blackcester,
Yeah.
because it's a nice little suburb. We never named it, unfortunately.
No,
I
I
did,
was gonna
however.
do all this stuff like give it a train station and things. They've got a little Tinker's Contract smeltery house over there. It's cool.
It's glitched. Like it appears
Yeah.
to it's loaded half, so I went around fixing all the buildings. You notice they've all got like really crappy wooden sides. Because I didn't actually care enough to improve the houses, I just kind of filled them in.
I don't understand why villages are so glitchy. You get them that are like massively tall and things,
I
just based
don't
on the terrain it
think
spawns in or
I
something.
don't think they handle mods very well. Like in
Ah, right.
vanilla, they're not so bad, but in mods, they tend to get a bit funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. What more can I say, really? I think I'm going to slow down a little bit, because I think pretty soon we're going to be coming up on Blackcester. Probably want a bit of a slow down to that. Not pretty soon, but soon enough. Okay, no, I'll
Maybe-
speed up. I'll know when I'm
maybe
here.
halfway there. Halfway between the village and Blackchester. Lovely ups and downs over the terrain and under
And
this
weird
floating
floating
rock.
island. I think there's a chicken
Like
that lives
that.
up there. I think he's the king of the island. Yeah, there
Oh,
he
yeah,
is.
there it is. Yeah. I'm sure I saw a pig up there once.
It's a whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's a fiefdom of Blackcester.
Should claim it with a flag.
I did think about building like walls to Blackcester. Oh, let me actually sit down now. But
Walls. Hmm.
I couldn't say where to put them. Like at first, I was like, "Oh, I'll just create a big map, and like the edges of that big map will be Blackcester's territory." Until I realised that that map edge was like on Brightmont itself, like it literally overlapped Brightmont. I was like, maybe
What?
not.
That's massive.
And here we're coming into Blackcester. We'll see how quickly my world loads because I currently just see the fields.
I can see your giant tower.
Yeah, I'm quite proud of the tower. There's a few. I'll probably go over everything again just for completeness sake, but the tower hasn't been featured in the videos yet.
Oh, look at all the little golems.
No,
A hive
disassembly or
of industry.
endless servitude. Chop 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 chop.
Look at all the pumpkins.
The creepy, creepy pumpkins. Anyway, well, actually, we'll probably start at the fields. The fields are quite interesting. And we're here. Shut down. Welcome to Blackcester. Please step out. If you please display your Did I ever make tickets? Here is your Blackcester ticket.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. There's a book and stuff as well. Oh! You just hit me. You hooligan.
I was trying to show you my ticket. Here it is.
Well, this is Blackcester train station. Not quite as swish. I think, yeah. I mentioned before, this train station was something of a labour of toil. Took me several attempts to get right for various reasons, but I quite like the way it turned out. It's pretty straightforward. It's nothing special, but I quite like the design. It's a really solid building, and it really reflects the kind of design I was going for with Blackcester, as this really kind of red brick and grey stone, like northern industrial town, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's a functional building. It's not.
Yeah. It has since expanded with these Mistcraft books to actually get me to the various Nether and Twilight Forest. I had to create special book chambers in each one. I don't know if you've actually seen these.
No.
I created a special book chamber in the Nether, for example, which is just this little stone room because I didn't really want to get nabbed by monsters. And up here, I've actually planked off the Nether portal, so no one uses it until further notice.
Oh wow.
The Twilight portal actually goes to a Lich Tower that I claimed as the Blackcester Embassy. But I never got around to actually furnishing the place. So the only evidence to this is just a sign on the outside that just says Blackcester Embassy. It's fairly uninspired, but
So the Blackcester Embassy looks exactly the same as a Lich Tower.
Yes. Look not into this. Let me get back into the train station. Ooh, lag. There we go. Over here, we've got the train yard. I like the train yard. I don't know why, but I find it really cute.
It is. It's like a train set. You've got all the switches.
Yeah. It's a bit haphazard though. Trying to maneuver a train into one of these sheds and out again is such a hassle. And this gate is just the piece de renaissance. It works so well. I have before walked through this gate and tried to close it behind me. We're actually trying with the train, are we?
Yeah. It's
it works not bad. Now try and get it out this one. Or this one.
Which one?
Either
Under the other line.
One.
That one.
It's. I seem to remember having to reverse it and go forward and go backwards, and it's a hassle.
It's a big train set. Yay!
Hooray! The other line actually goes to the Blackcester mines, which, although aren't interesting to look at, are vaguely interesting because that's where I go to test out my experimental mining methods.
Experimental mining methods.
Yeah, I'll get my mining laser and see how effective that is, and compare that to the arcane boar from Thaumcraft, and I'll go down and use the industrial TNT, and it's just really weird.
Good times.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, isn't it? Right, where to go first? Let's just get onto the street to Blackcester. This is what it's all about. You'll notice some changes since you were last here.
Yeah. Wow. That wasn't there. That,
Yeah,
that
many
that
things.
that wasn't there. That wasn't there.
Many things have been started and left behind. Well, straight up, let's head over to the fields, as you mentioned in your way. And since you mentioned it already, you might as well get that shown first. I like the fields. The fields, I feel, epitomise what Blackcester is all about. Needless mass quantity of production. In each one of these fields, I have a pair of golems endlessly farming to produce obscene amounts of fruit and veg. They occasionally glitch out. Like I've noticed, like a golem will try and farm another field and get stuck in a corner. But
Yeah,
most of the time, these guys will just go on and on and on. They're
like
all
the Duracell bunny.
piped. They're all piped through chests in the centre field, through underground tunnels, which are a feature of Blackcester, into the silo over here, um, which has several chests collecting all the various products.
Wow.
Um, this
Wow.
pipe, you'll notice, goes elsewhere, and in fact only includes reeds, but this was going to be like another feature. These go to further underground tunnels, that whenever I felt there was an item which needed to go somewhere else, I created a kind of split pipe, where it would go to first the chest, and then to wherever else it needs to go. Are you okay?
Um. Um.
Hi. There's not really any actual service entrance.
eh,
By the way, you're now wearing like flight headphones, so it kind of matches what you're wearing.
That's cool.
Or maybe it just looks that way because you've got that mic thing on your face.
Yeah.
But we'll discuss where that goes later. But yeah, that's Blackcester's Fields. I think I'm going to go out there again and just watch the golems for a sec, because these guys are tireless in their efforts.
They do have almost this kind of this look about them that they're really enjoying it. Like
Yeah,
what
it's the way the wood
what?
golems just kind of follow along behind the straw golems. It's like, "Ah, da, 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 I'm following you, we're buddies."
Yeah.
And it's
You
the
pick
hand
'em, I
movements
get
as
'em.
well. I can't get over the hand movements. It's like they're not like picking them; they're just kind of belting
Bah.
the fruit and veg, just knocking them off. Like especially when you come over to the melons, it's just like the melons just gone, split into multiple parts.
Doof.
Good times, good times.
Pow.
But this is essentially every crop in the game except for barley, because barley doesn't work with golems. Sad face.
Ooh, potatoes.
Right, moving on to the industrial district here. I'll probably skim over the things I've spoken about before, just to avoid repeating myself too much. But I like the golems. The golems are awesome.
Yeah.
Just very fond of the golems. Yeah, over here I've got a few industrial-looking sheds, which I thoroughly enjoy, each with their smokestack.
The smoke stacks are a nice addition.
I really like smokestacks.
It really.
There's like tons of them now. I love them. Over here got a recycling station. This is probably my favourite machine, just because it took so long to kind of get in a working state.
Gee whiz.
It's pretty elaborate, and it essentially turns piles of useless junk into piles of useless junk. In this chest here, you'll see an example of the useless junk that's produced from useless junk. A full cake, I believe, I got from dirt. So if you want some cake, knock yourself out. Dirt cake. Yep. So I created this because I realised I was digging out so much ground that I just had dirt. I had tons and tons of dirt. And I needed something to do with it. Something useful. This thing back here clicks endlessly though, so I created a sound muffler to actually stop that from happening.
Oh yeah.
Which is yeah.
I don't understand how this works.
Well,
You
so
make scrap.
in here through the pipes goes into these chests, into the what do you call it, scrap makers. This makes
I've got
scrap,
them.
which goes in here and turns into scrap boxes. Scrap boxes are then taken over here into this dispenser, which uses the scrap box every time you click it. This red thing, clicks the dispenser, which spits out into this hopper. The reason I've got this wood around it is to catch the items
Oh yeah.
and stop it from getting away. And
So
then it falls onto the diamond chest.
so when you so when it dispenses a scrap box, it makes a random thing. Is
Yeah,
that? Ah,
random thing. Like, yeah. You'll see beneath, this is
all of
like
these
all
things.
random things from the scrap boxes. It's kind of obscene.
Single-use battery, plant ball. Okay.
There's I'm pretty sure the higher percentage of like wooden tools, so every so often I have to come through and like scrape out all the wooden swords and shove them back in again. In here I've just got random machines, nothing too inspiring. Um, in here I've got the rubber refinery, which you'll notice a certain theme. It's basically the same kind of design as I have for the recycler. Basically refines rubber. That's all there is to it. But I quite like the design though.
Hooray!
It's fairly menacing, the kind of triple. The reason I do this kind of triple barreled thing is to try and increase the efficiency. Because since Blackcester is all based on coke power,
Yeah.
if you use a little bit of power, it will burn through an entire like unit of coke. So to try and avoid that, I used as much power as possible at once.
Ah, I see.
Yes. Which is kind of odds at what Blast is all about, which is basically wastage and atmospheric pollution. But you know what you're gonna do.
Really?
Over here, I've got the like command post for the 2 refineries. I'm quite proud of these, if only because they were
Coke
my
and
first.
ore
Like,
refinery routing office.
yes. I'm quite proud of these because they were like my first experiments with like piping things into automated systems. Um, as I say, we've seen these before, so again, I won't talk too much about them. But essentially, it's all piped into these 5 macerators, which the ores are rather, which is then pumped into 5 electro furnaces down here, which are then all piped out back into the output chest. Which it's so satisfying just grinding it all.
Yeah.
Got so much like metals that I don't even know what to do with all. Um, the the coke refinery is just impressive to look at. I don't know why, but it's probably my favourite industrial building. Just because it looks industrial. It's just like this mess of pipes. And big, blocky buildings.
Oh yeah.
And of course, the creosote tank.
Coke's ovens are always fun.
Do you remember how full the creosote tank was last time you were down here?
No.
I'm now at 2 million millibuckets. 2.5 million millibuckets.
Of 9.
That's 2,500 buckets of creosote.
That's a lot.
Creosote. I never figured out what to do with the creosote. Like, I don't know if there are sensible things to do with it. I'd like to like pump it back into my power production system, but I never looked up a way of doing it which actually made sense. It seemed to be a little bit useless.
I could have done with some of this when I was making that railway line, but
Yeah, you've said a few times.
found that out
why
too
didn't you tell me?
late.
Oh,
You've got how much creosote?
um, that's all for over here. Over here we've got the warehouse, which has recently undergone an upgrade. Essentially, it's just a big pipe sorting system. I replaced the normal pipes with gold pipes because I hadn't realised how fast things go through this when you use gold pipes.
Yeah.
Like, I used to use normal pipes and I used like the odd gold pipe and it like slightly increased the speed. I hadn't realised that multiple gold pipes accelerate it even further. Now, I added on a recent addition to the system because my metal boxes were getting full of metal. I had so much metal I just didn't have room for it. You'll notice now they're very nearly empty. This is one of the first projects that I've started and I haven't actually gotten around to finishing. and will never now get around to finishing,
Yeah. I spotted
is
this as we
the
were coming out of the train station.
dedicated metal compression system.
Metal compression system.
It was going to be for the other minerals as well, and I can't get out of here.
Ah.
No. The metals are pumped into these workbenches, compressed into blocks, and then put into these crates.
Wow.
I was going to be doing the same with diamonds and redstone, and essentially it would just completely solve my storage issues. Because you know your computer system and the diamond chests and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I basically decided that efficient storage solutions were for chumps and casuals. I just want like endless crates because it amuses me. And I just got all my gold
Cows in it.
blocks out. I've got two full stacks of gold blocks and 19 spare gold blocks. One thing I regret I never got a chance to do in Blackcester was the bank. I really want to do a bank of Blackcester and just have like all the gold and all the diamonds in like physical put down form, because that would have amused me, because I really like large piles of gold and diamonds. I have an issue. um Anyway, next up we've got this Tinker's Construct building. We've seen this, but I've actually decorated the front of it now.
Ooh.
The thing is,
Aw.
since, as we mentioned before, Tinker's Construct
Aw.
doesn't actually place down very well at all. So
Yeah.
what I had to do is I used actual proper tools and the what do you call them? The stone replicas you make, because once you make the cast, it's pretty much useless.
Ah,
just-
yeah.
Rode them all down there.
Like the components or something.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just a bit of a shop front, not much to see. Got a little office up here, which has a little bookcase for the
Aw.
Tinker's Construct books and a little desk area. But
We're actually putting the things together.
yeah. And of course, in the basement, like this must be like the scariest basement in the entire place. I don't know why, but it looks like a serial killer's basement. With the furnace in it. Which one's I have in there right now? Is that gold? Yeah, I've got gold, because the last thing I was making was those casts for you. And just some crap, including a couple blocks of manillion.
Hooray! Crap! Yay!
Lots of crap. Moving on. This is a new building which you have not seen.
That is which one are we looking at?
This one here, sorry.
This-
This one
this-
behind me. We'll look at that
The
later.
small red brick building and not the giant fortress across the road.
This across the road here. This would have been, and technically is, the Blackcester Constabulary Fortress House.
Wow.
I got carried away. Like, I had a vague
That's,
idea about how I wanted to be, and started building the front. I went, you know what, I just wanted to be that size on every side, and I just ended up with this giant square building. It is huge. I love the exterior design of it. I really
Yeah,
like
it's really cool.
the crenellations and these stepped based outsides. It's very, very menacing, imposing building, which was exactly what I was looking for. These holes near ground level were going to include the Tinker's Construct drawbridges,
Oh, yeah.
and I'd have turrets hidden behind them.
Oh man.
So whenever I was under attack, I could open up the things and have them gone down. As you can see, I was in here in the process of actually making the floors. This was going to be the lobby area, and I was going to have like
Oh, right.
armories and stuff as you come upstairs, and the offices and things. But I've only gotten so far, and it was a huge project. As I say, I got carried
Massive
away.
building.
I just like, "Ugh, what have I done? what mess have I got myself into by building this? So one of many in progress buildings. I mean, maybe I'll make another one day if I fancy a bit more high tech devices and whatnot. But I quite like this. It's pretty imposing.
It's rather
Good view
massive.
of Blackcester from here.
Yeah.
There you are. Hello. Oh yeah, there's not actually a way to get up here without a jetpack.
Yeah. Fine, I'll put my jetpack on. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oh, Blackcester.
Yeah, it's quite a view from up here.
Yeah, Blackcester is really taking shape. Like from the air, it actually does look like kind of a town rather than just a collection of buildings, which it kind of looked like before. I really like it from the air nowadays.
Wow, yeah.
Anyway, moving on from the
Ow.
constabulary fortress house, if I could use these words. I have
Shell.
been talking for a long time. This is my excuse.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm.
Oh, you got one of those torches, cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. I put that down there because I was getting mobbed by mobs. Funnily enough. By the way, you're now wearing like that really freaky hand smiley face hat with the rosy
Oh
cheeks.
god.
Yeah.
Well, you've got an Abraham Lincoln hat with accompanying beard and sideburns.
Super. Anyway, over here, this is the bookbinding factory. This is where those reeds go.
Ah,
Goes in here. It's also pumped leather from the pit and essentially turns into books. And I've just kind of had this running in the background for a while now, and it's really slow going just because there's not that many reads coming through. But I've got decent amount of books.
yeah, just a couple.
I want to build this because I was wanting to build a library at some point.
Yeah.
And I just wanted like tons of books for that because you might notice like I tend to build big. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think I tend to use a lot of headroom and big open spaces and yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's inefficient. I feel like I made one of the ways I went wrong with Black Sisters as I made everything too big. So building anything was such a hassle that it was kind of hard to get like passionate about a project because well, I say one of my aims was to have a different building for each purpose. So
Yeah,
it
that's
kind of
pretty
got
cool.
a bit like if I wanted to do something, I had to build a building for it, and I think it just slowed me down a bit too much. But I mean, I like it. I like the way Black Sisters ended up. I'm just thinking this is maybe a lesson for the future. There's nothing up here, but I want to make a map making room up here, which would have similar, like what you call it?
Machinery.
Yeah, machinery with
System.
compasses and stuff. Up
Yeah.
here is my room because I never
This
actually
is
made
your-
myself a house, so I decided I lived up here.
Huh.
It's a bit bleak, but it's kind of
You've had a few
homely.
different houses, from what I remember.
Well, no, I
Tiny
used to live in the
candle.
warehouse.
Oh.
Yeah, broken
Yeah.
window. I used to live in the warehouse, but
I remember that. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
Massive empty warehouse.
yeah. So there's just a bed in the warehouse, and I was like, I got to move somewhere a bit more like home. So I got up here and realized I had some room for a little bed and a lid and a desk and a chest, which got nothing in it. I never actually came up here, but I decided I lived up here. So there you go. Apparently, I just live upstairs in the book making factory. Could tell you why. Could not tell you why. We've got the the Black Sisters Farmers Market, which was one of my cute little projects I worked on, which I really enjoy. I think it adds a little bit of life that I think some of the areas of Black Sister lack.
Yeah. It's cool. It makes it seem real,
Yeah.
for want of a better word,
No, I know what you mean.
in a giant cubic world. But
I think like more details like that was what Black Sister needed, and the problem was I got so fixated on doing like the big things, I never
Yeah.
got to add the details. I think Black Sister in general needed more details, but otherwise,
Yeah.
again, I still really enjoy the way things out. And this is my town square clock. I quite like the clock. This was literally the
yeah, the
first thing I
clock's
built.
cool.
This was the first thing I built. The design has not changed. I came up here and went, this will be the centre of my town, plonk. And I've built it from here. Dr. Quirkio's Bazaar of Wonder!
I love this thing. It's cool.
It's another cute little design, I think. I love this wagon. I kind of want to live out of this wagon. If I could, like, make, like this, and like save it somehow and just like move around the server, I totally would. Um, I love
Yeah.
it. It's cramped and it's full of interesting things. I very nearly got a full chain suit in here. I'm just missing the chest. Um, and this has got lots of fun signs, which I detail in my last video. So again, I won't read out, but I really like
Yeah, there's
the
a lot of fun, interesting, weird bits and pieces in here.
yeah. Good times, good times.
Like a Hydra head.
Yeah, Hydra head, Lich head.
A Lich head.
Yeah, so that is up there.
Oh yeah.
Above the door. And GLaDOS. Up this one.
Yeah. I thought I saw a potato with
Yeah.
stuff in it.
Good times, good times. Dr. Quirkio, I shall never forget you.
Quirky.
I've got the Ministry of Enchanting over here, which hasn't changed like terribly much since I first built it. I mean, the enchanting room's looking a bit more like a study rather than a empty room with enchanting table.
Oh yeah.
Spent some good times in here, enchanting endlessly. Upstairs here, I've got the kind of enchanted armory where I put all my old enchanted kit. You'll notice over here 2 empty display cases and an empty armor stand.
Hmm.
This was where my badass armor and badass weapons used to live, and I
Right.
lost all of it. I tried to
Oh.
take on one of the dark towers in the Twilight Forest, and I fell off and I died.
Ooh.
And I never got there back in time. So this stuff was like all
No.
like protection 4, sharpness 5, power 5. It was badass. And I've never gotten the chance to actually rebuild that collection. I've got some awesome other kit actually. There's some of the stuffs from pickups from the what do you call it? Lich. Like it's protection 4, respiration 3, haste 3. Some pretty nice enchants going on over here.
Hmm. Not bad. Not bad.
Oh yeah, this is the weapon I was going to use for the constabulary. This is like an enchanted wooden sword called a truncheon. It's knockback 2.
Yep.
Good times.
You've
good times.
you've showed me that before.
Yeah, it's there's 2 bits of damage on this, and both times I hit you with it. Because who else am I going to hit? Oh man, I'd say wait here. Well, not here specifically, but I'll be back in a sec. I'm just going to run through the back streets of Blackcester.
You're not going to get another weapon, are you?
You know,
No. Yeah. No.
no,
No.
of course not. Why would it do that?
I've got like.
This was, indeed is, I guess, was going to be the standard issue weapon for the Blackcester Constabulary. This is their, where are you? I've lost you. Are you still
Nowhere.
there?
No.
Oh, there you are. It's because I've got your, I've got your Skype thing covering up my map, so I can't see you.
Oh dear.
This was the constabulary pacification rod, which is
Broadsword.
just a broadsword with
Smite and knockback.
electric, knockback, and smite to give it a kind of baton look, if you know what I mean. Bop. Bop.
No, don't stop.
Yeah, I'm
Stop,
gonna stop.
I'm on
Oh
one
wow,
heart.
no, I hadn't realised you were so damaged. Eat something, for the love of God. Well, bring me swiftly to my next location.
Just gonna eat a carrot. Just let me dump this stuff. Next location.
Go! Drink this potion! Oops.
Ah,
Potion! Ha health.
Ah,
Oh
regeneration.
man, I
Thank you.
actually I get to see like the enchants you've got on. That's interesting.
Oh,
I
really?
never knew that happened. You know the information it tells you when you look at someone. Yeah, it tells
Yeah.
you got regen going on. That's pretty
Ah,
sweet. Potions, potions, potions is
potions.
still actually one of my favourite builds.
Potions.
I think
Like,
like the way I designed the shop floor is actually really cute.
you're like chronically unable to close doors.
Yes. It's my town. I leave all the doors open if I want. Occasionally I shut them. Yeah, I quite like the way potions turned out. It looks like a pro shop.
Yeah,
So,
it's great.
how can I help you? Would you like some potions today?
Um, um, no,
Potions.
don't really want any potions. I don't know why I came in. Sorry to have wasted your time.
Potions.
I'll just leave. I'll show myself
Um,
out.
Upstairs I got like 6 brewing stands set up for mass producing lots and lots of potions. Um, which I do on occasion for the most important ones like regen, speed, and things. But anyways, over here, I actually put a shell on the pit. The pit had a the pit had a disaster, and I ended up having to destroy everything with a mining laser, because it nearly crashed the server with the amount of spawns.
Yeah.
So it's now just operating at partial um, capacity, which is okay. I'm sort of okay with that because the pit kind of frightens me and everyone else who lays eyes upon it. So as it stands, it's just kind of ticking over. And I think I might leave it that way because the pit, as I say, quite literally nearly killed the entire server.
Dangerous. Your reach exceeded your grasp.
Really was a case study in hubris.
I
Yep.
can't speak anymore. I don't know what's happened.
Well, shit, we've been speaking for like over an hour now, so it's to be expected. It's been upgraded though. Rather than having the turrets, it now has slaughterhouses, which kill the cows and pump liquid meat from them. Which, if we walk back around the back of the pit, honestly is a bit of an uninspired building. I always meant to make it look a bit nicer. Like compared to the coke
Nicer?
refinery, which actually looks like really industrial and nice, the pit's a bit blank. Goes round to here, which is the spam factory. Let me spam factory.
Pink slime.
Which goes into this pink slime tank and liquid meat tank, and you should see the rate this thing actually produces meat. I mean, look at that. Those ingots just pump straight into here. They come in here, they get cooked. They're then pumped into here and turned into cooked meat blocks, which are then stored over here. Once again, mass production for Blackcester. It's just the way Blackcester is. There's not really much more I can say about this, apart from the fact this is probably the most horrific thing I've ever created. It's essentially a spam factory that builds spam in such quantities that I don't know how to express my feelings on this. It's just terrible.
It is terrifying.
But I never got a chance
scares
to
me.
build the building around the spam factory because why the hell? So I'm just gonna leave this going for now. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not even gonna risk it. I'm gonna turn off the cows. I've learned my lesson once. I know it's only one spawner, but no, never again, man. Never again. Maybe one day I'll retell the story of what happened to the pit in a video, but not today. Not today.
I've heard this story, and
Yeah.
I
A couple
wow.
times. Yeah. I literally I had to take a mining laser to it and destroy everything. It was horrific. I'm just gonna take a moment. Weep a little bit in the street here. Right, what's up next? Next I'm going to show you over here. Here I have the Quartz Tower. The centre of all wizardry in Blackcester. So the quartz tower, like I have a thing for towers in Minecraft. I like to build towers. So the quartz tower, I was going in, I knew I wanted something different from what I'd constructed before. It took me a while to like decide on design, and eventually I came with this idea of using primarily quartz with these white stained glass windows on the sides. And along up down the sides, I knew I wanted some kind of arcane mystical symbols. So these symbols on the side here
Yeah,
roughly
you're like,
correspond to the is
I'm
it
here.
standard
I'm at the
galactic
top.
alphabet, which is used by vanilla Minecraft to represent the symbols in the magic books and things. So it is literally covered in arcane symbols.
Yeah, that's really
Which is
cool.
actually quite light. These grounds I was going to at some point like really landscape and make look really pretty, but as it stands, it's just cherry trees and the
Silverwoods.
silverwoods. I couldn't quite remember the name. Yeah, silverwoods. Thank you. Which are, to be honest, on their own, pretty pretty. I'm okay
Yeah.
with that. You know, I think it could be worse. In here we've got a rather uninspiring. Yeah, everything's white. Everything's white in here because it's a quartz tower, naturally. Even got these nice grey doors. Um, Nothing in the lobby. As I say, it's sparingly furnished. As I mentioned before, I think what I really needed was to actually finish furnishing everything. This was my study for Thommy crafting this with I think it's a wither skeleton skull right there. It was pretty sweet. Up here we have my Thumbcraft thumbing room, where I use my infusion altar and my yeah. This is where I create all my stuff. With lots of jars on the edges. I really like the way these jars set up. I used to have them on wooden platforms, except they kept burning because there's like fire too near them. So I had to come up with a new system for that, which got awkward. Here's my armory and showing off room. I've actually enchanted these robes completely because I wanted all the robes properly enchanted. I thought I'd done the armor as well, but clearly I haven't. Whoops. What have I got in here? A few fun arcane toys, but I never really got around to finishing off this room, so most of these chests are empty. I couldn't decide actually how to display everything because you can't, like, when you put these display chests on the ground, it looks a bit weird because it's like it's just on the ground. But when
Yeah.
you put it on a block and you walk up to it, you can't really see into it. So I put these half slabs here so you can actually look down into them, and it still felt like they were on something.
Hmm.
The other option was to put them directly onto the wall, but essentially these bibliocraft cases, they look pretty sweet, but in like only specific circumstances, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's a weird thing you kind of, as you turn, the item turns within the case. It's.
Does it? That's,
Uh, have you noticed that?
no.
No? Did, mm, do you know? Mm,
No, I'm,
I
I'm,
get
I'm
that.
turning slowly at them. I don't really see it.
Yeah, must just be me.
Could be. Who knows?
No, well,
Moving on. I think the other notable feature, just an empty folder. Ah, yes, the crystal room. I installed these
Oh,
primarily because they generate flux,
these
and
generate flux.
yeah, because they increase the amount of V in an area. At the same time, they generate flux. Because I want Blackcester to be a terrible place where no one would ever want to live, and flux is an integral part of this.
Oh
Because
dear.
magical pollution. Mm-hmm.
I can see the
And
next server being in trouble.
fun fact, these V shards are actually corresponding to the traditional alchemical elemental poles. So Earth is north, wind is east, fire south, and water is west.
Huh.
So yeah, and magic in the middle because why the hell not?
Because it's magic.
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 And I believe there's a great wood tree on the top because I got to the top of the tower. I had no idea how I wanted to actually top it off. but I kind of became inspired with these arches and this tree, which I'm not sure if it's. I quite like it, but at times I'm like, I don't know. But at the same time, it's different enough that like it just makes the top feel like such an open area.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
quite
really good idea.
perilous.
I really like that.
There
It's
you
like
go.
for all the almost magic industry to mirror the industry you've got
Yeah.
going on with everything else. You've got this natural thing right at the top.
Mm.
It's really cool.
Alright. I'm just gonna hop down here. Whoa, flying. You coming?
Hang on, let me get my boots on.
uh,
Ah! Okay.
nice. Oh yeah, you got long foot boots. Sure.
Yeah.
Um, over here we have another one of my unfinished projects. Is the Blackcester slums. I love this project. Like,
It's a great idea.
I think this area, even in its half finished state, has more character. But maybe that's just me because I built it and I know what I'm going for. Right, so the slums need to be really a horrible place. It's full of like narrow, cramped streets, and there are places where you just can't
Ah!
see the sun. And there are mobs because the protection doesn't actually
Just
extend
as
as
you were
far.
saying, it's a really horrible, cramped place. My Minecraft client started playing the spooky music, and I got attacked by an
Hey.
angry zombie.
So it's all cramped streets, narrow passageways, and my end idea was like people would just get lost in here, and they wouldn't easily find their way out again, if you know what I mean. Um, and I never actually got around to finishing it because, frankly, there's like more than 50 buildings planned in the slums.
Really?
Yeah, and I've gotten through like just over half of them, or maybe 2/3, and it's just you'd be surprised how much like effort small building takes, especially when you want each one to be slightly different from one another.
Yeah.
Like, I want to try and have character for each of the buildings. Like this one, the stone one here, which kind of looks like a tower, castle tower. I imagine that the owner is like a really paranoid, and like he probably has a small fortune locked up in his basement, and it's just like all like iron bars and windows.
Small fortune.
Um,
He doesn't have a basement. You
well,
lied to
I'll
me.
build a basement. Over here, we've got a building that's got a bit of an overhang. I imagine this to be maybe a pawn shop of some kind. It's because it's got bars over all the windows.
Yeah, I like the bars. That looks good.
Zombies coming through all the streets. I mean, over this way, I've got a hut which is made of jungle wood and mossy cobble. I imagine that to actually be the home of the local wise woman slash witch. So that would have a little crucible and things once they got onto that. So yeah, so it's got a lot of character, but I kind of regret not being able to finish it. I might actually, if I ever make another town again, I might use the same ideas I used here,
Yeah.
and just make it like cramped and small buildings rather than focusing on big, expansive buildings like I have been in Black Sister.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
But it was a fun experiment, and I quite
Jam them
enjoyed
all
it.
in. Yeah, you could do the same thing where you had a building for every project, but just make them pokey wee buildings that you can
just
barely
tiny
move
things. Yeah, but I climbed the building here as well. That must be when you mentioned earlier. I climbed a lot of buildings there. I was thinking I was going to live in this one, but I never actually ended up finishing the. What have I got? Nothing. I ended up not finishing the area, so I never really got to do much. But this supposed to be the nicest building in the slums, which is right next to it. I imagine someone of some wealth that didn't actually get a chance to live somewhere nice. Well, I had lots of plans for this area. I was going to have wooden golems act like thieves and just have them like sitting in little holes. So if anyone dropped anything, they'd run out, grab them, run away again. um,
That's a great
I
idea.
was thinking about turning this fountain into sludge or sewage.
Ugh.
Yeah. Um. Oh.
Oh!
Oh. Oh. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry. I regret that. Do you want to
hang on,
teleport
don't move.
back here? Yeah. Uh. Sorry. It's embarrassing. That's the first time that's ever happened, actually.
Right. Make sure I get this right. Which way around is it? What? TP.
I think it's
Is it
TP you to me.
you, Hmm. Hooray!
Hey!
All
Here,
my
I think
stuff.
I nicked some of your stuff as well. Um, got your train, your
Oh my
carrots, your
god!
uh,
I've got so much
brains.
crap.
Where was I? I built the slums in the shadow of the quartz tower because the quartz tower is going to be like just the point of the quartz tower is such a jarring difference between that and the rest of Blackcester
Hello?
that it's just the nicest place in Blackcester. Um, but it's just so removed from like the grit of the ground level stuff that the slums in the shadow of the quartz tower was supposed to be this real juxtaposition between what the wizards live like and what Black Sisters actually like. Oh, that's
I'm just having to reorganize this inventory. Oh my god.
no worries. I'm gonna
Where
kill the
did I
skeleton
have
that's
all
hiding
of
out this
these
building.
things?
I've got monster squatters in my building here.
Do you have my shovel?
Um, yes. Oh wow, hello. I managed to miss that entirely. Your shovel also kind of looks like a plant, but I suppose they all do. I
What?
don't actually like the moss. I don't like the moss improvement. I like what it does. I don't like what it looks
Yeah,
like.
that's
I think in the future I might
the
use
older thing.
electric rather than the
Yeah, I've
moss.
got electric now.
Oh,
That's
you've dropped the thing down here. I've got some flint and steel for you.
um
Boop boop. Anyway, that completely derailed me. Back to the streets.
got so much crap to reorganize.
So anyway, I quite like the streets of Blackcester. Like I quite like the lamppost designs were something of an experiment. Um, but I thoroughly enjoy how they look, to be honest. They're really quite swish. Um,
I was doing so well, it like barely even taking damage and then just pop.
there's a green slime here. How on earth did a green slime get here? This is like the middle of Blackcester, where I've got all the spawning blockers. It shouldn't be possible. But it's one of the small ones, so I'm just going to leave them. Um, the other thing, like I suppose to show off, is this building on the horizon here, which was going to be the Blackcester Institute of Interdimensional Arts and Sciences, which was going to hold all my portals and artifacts from the various places.
Ah.
But I didn't get very far with that either. Partly it came to a stumbling block where I needed more quartz, and since every time I've gone into the nether to get quartz, I've died and had to like dash through thousands of blocks of nether. Um, it was a harrowing thought, and I moved on to another project. But I kind of like what I've done so far, and it's a nice location, but it's never going to get complete. Oh well. And I think that's Blackcester in a nutshell.
Very good.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna miss the place. I've spent a lot of time in Blackcester, and
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just standing up here in the corner. It's such a nice cityscape just to look at with the smokestacks and the fields and the streets.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of work.
Oh yeah. It's well, you know, built up over months. You know.
Yeah.
I could even see a really tall building in the slums. I like that. It pokes up over the rest of them. Go.
It's definitely followed your themes. It's very industrial.
Yeah.
And, you see the golems working hard down there.
Tirelessly away,
Tirelessly.
forever and ever.
We pray for annihilation. The only ones rooting for the server destruction.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor golems. Let's see. What were the plans? I was gonna.
No,
Yeah.
they
So
enjoy their work. They clearly have fun running about beating up
it's their
melons.
purpose in life. Don't you see? So yeah, things like I had lots of plans for the future. I think like I needed to concentrate more on the character of Blackcester and less about the buildings themselves. Like I also had the idea I was going to put in the alleyway crossroads. I was putting ocelot spawners under the pavement
Yeah.
to occasionally spawn ocelots, of course, because you can't get rats in this game, and ocelots are the next nearest thing to like an urban pest. So I just wanted like people to be like walking through the alleyways every so often, and just like, these ocelots like run out from between boxes or whatever.
But
Um,
Blackcester would have a cat problem.
yeah, exactly. Because you know, it don't like it needs rodents basically. Um, yeah, I don't really think there's anything to more to be said on Blackcester. It's
Yeah.
been
So
a it's been a fun ride. I've learned a lot about how to construct Minecraft things.
yeah, definitely. So I think this has been our tour of our machinations on our
Absolutely,
Feed the Beast server. Had a quick look at wolf stuff. A very
indeed.
in-depth look at both of our projects.
Yar.
Probably took too long doing it, but
It's our recording. We can
everything
be
in
as
detail.
verbose and self-indulgent as we want.
Let's hope people like it. If people want to see more of the builds, we'll make more videos. Because
Indeed.
I enjoyed like having a look around and chatting about it and stuff.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I mean, just getting the thoughts behind the crafts are always like a really fun thing. It's one thing to look at them; it's another thing to kind of oh, this is this and this is that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Honestly, I like in my future builds, I'm probably gonna like do more videos when I build things because I am a incorrigible show off. So yes, it's going
I
to
think
happen.
we should do more builds like playing and recording at the same time. That'd be a lot of fun.
We could give it a try. I mean, I don't know if building would be terribly interesting watch sometimes because I take a while to build.
Yeah, that's
um,
fair.
but no, it's
Do
definitely
it
something
like
to
all
think about in the
those other
future.
famous YouTube people and just
I was going to say
videos
that's the
go.
thing. Like YouTube isn't really the place for Minecraft videos anymore because there are billions of them.
Billions of them.
I've also got this thermostatic generator, which is a thing. Have you seen one of these?
Oh,
It's
no,
pretty
I
cool.
don't know what that is.
Kind of lightning's my way through things. Basically a
Jeez.
jetpack, but you know, not.
Made of lightning.
Yeah, lightning and magic. Oh, by the way, this glass globe over here, that's where the nearest node was. So forever's getting spawns coming out there, like wisps. So
Ah.
I just walled off. I laughed at them as every so often I'd come over and it'd be this wisps trapped inside. I'm just going to do one more swoop over Blackcester. Oh, you know, there was one more thing I was going to show off that I never actually got. I forgot to mention.
Uh-huh.
Down here. Oh no, that was unsafe. There we go. Just reminded me when I was looking at my independence there. I'll get rid of my boots because I'm moving at an obscene speed. Did I ever tell you about my 8 Ender Pack system? No, 9 Ender Pack system.
And what? Sorry? No?
Ender Pouch.
Endo
So,
pouch.
I got sick of not having enough room to put things when I went spelunking. So what I did is I created 8 different ender chests and 8 different ender pouches corresponding to each chest. Well, you know what I mean, like one pouch per chest. And then put all those pouches into one pouch.
Wow.
And then bring out one pouch, fill it up with stuff, and then stuff it back into the first pouch, and then bring out another one.
Jeez.
So it got to the point where like I rather than like ending my spelunking sessions when like I was full of stuff and trying to decide what to keep, what to chuck. Occasionally I use them for building as well, so you got some supplies in there. I would just like I ended my spelunking sessions when I got bored because you know I had so much like room,
That's
and
mad.
if I died, I still had all my stuff,
Yeah, 'cause it's all stored, yeah.
or at least most of it. Yeah,
That's cool.
it was quite proud of
Mad,
it.
but
Yeah.
cool.
It's like it's a system. So like I can look at the chest as well. So like it's kind of sinister when they open by themselves. I don't know if you've ever seen these kind
Oh,
of
that's really fun.
things. I'll just set this up for fairly needless reasons. It's like oh 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 oh. Oh. That's quite enough of that. I think that's probably a good place to end it. I'm gonna do another takeoff, do a swoop over Blackcester, and then end the video. Any parting words for our fans?
Fine.
Fun.
Fun.
Uh,
What you mean when Wolf watches it?
yeah, when Wolf watches it, and maybe the one guy I know who says he really likes my videos. Actually, no. Having said that, there is one guy who said that yeah, he actually really enjoys listening to my videos. It's like it's really quite heartwarming hearing that. It's like yeah, I really enjoyed them. Should do more.
Cool.
It's like oh, thanks, bro. Oh my god, this is so slow when you don't wear like the super speed fast boots. Yeah,
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun building the stuff here, but just getting left behind with the cool stuff that's coming out now.
yeah,
So gonna upgrade and get a new server pack and
indeed.
build loads more other weird stuff.
Absolutely. Had to happen eventually, but no regrets.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoy playing on the server. I'll miss Blackcester, and as I say, I'll always have this video to look back on and chart out my unprofessionalism and rambling commentary. uh, well, until next time, guys, this is goodbye from me, Gisov, and
Goodbye from me, Metalzoic. Bye.
see you guys.
Bye.